Hi, everybody. This is Cindy and Ferris and everybody. All these beautiful souls are here today, and this is Energized Living Today. And we are going to be making up a really nice page like Theo did. I thought it was a great idea on how to raise your hand and to kind of an introductory page that's a slide. And I really liked what they did. So we're going to copy them, and we're going to do that at the beginning so that everybody knows how to use the different functions of Zoom. Today we are going to be talking about what not to take if you have COVID-19. And this was a very big surprise to me, but they just came out with all this research. And of course, I'm doing research all the time so that I can share it with y'all. And what I found was really surprising. And first I want to talk about the reason that I have a tickly nose tonight is because of my kitties. As I shared with all of you just before this, I found some ticks on Nickel and one on Cinnamon, or not Cinnamon, Gracie. Got to keep them all straight here. So I spent the whole day brushing them out, getting all their hair that's falling out for summer, and they had mats and everything, and there were ticks in there. So I brushed them all out, and that's what I did. And then I just finished with Gidget as well. And then I did some with cinnamon, not cinnamon, ginger, the other spice kitty. and she got me all over the place. So Ferris is going to have to come and help me with her. She does not like it. The other ones I can beat into submission. No, I'm kidding. I can just hold them and they're fine as long as I'm petting their ears and stuff. They're really, really good, but she's not so good. Anyways, I wanted to share with you the results of a blood test that I had last week. And my doctor called back, and they still do not have the test in our area that shows whether or not you have the antibodies, which tells you that you've had COVID-19, as my healthcare professionals believe I had. But I have a really, really low white blood count. And that is suggesting that I did have a serious virus because it was so low. She said, I've never seen your numbers like this before. And it really concerned her. And I've still had some breathing problems. And we also found out that there can be some inflammation around the heart that can continue even after you get better. And I've been having this real tightness and kind of pain every now and then around my heart and the esophagus. And the doctor was explaining that where the esophagus comes down and connects to the heart is where the inflammation happens. I don't know the science behind it. I'm going to do more research, but she said those are just two more elements that we have discovered in you that tell us that you've had COVID-19. So both good and not. I'm going to have some chest x-rays, and that'll tell if the inflammation's there or what's causing this little discomfort and continuing the shortness of breath. I've been confused as to why I'm still feeling this way and why I struggle for breath when I can hold my breath for a minute with no problem. In fact, I probably could go longer than that. I've been doing the exercises that we did the other day, the breathing exercises, and I'm doing fine with that. I'm holding my breath for a minute between each of the restricted breathing that we were doing, like this, and then holding my breath completely for a minute with no problem. So I couldn't understand why I'm short of breath. And she said that would make you feel as though you're short of breath. This, again, is a complication that I didn't know anything about. I'm still learning a lot. They're coming up with new things every day. This led me to investigating the supplements that I'm taking and how the body reacts to to the different supplements that many of us take all the time. And what I found just kind of surprised me. And the initial information that they have, I thought was really important to get out to everybody. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we get started with that, does anybody have any questions or anything that they want to share? Anybody? No? Okay. First of all, I want to start off by asking Ferris, and I just asked Ferris to read this. The big thing that everybody was talking about was ibuprofen versus Tylenol. And when I was sick with the coronavirus, the doctor had me rotating both because I was running a fever. So I did every 8 hours, she had me taking Tylenol that helped with the pain. And the I think it was the ibuprofen that helped with the fever. And she had me taking that every 4 hours. And so I did this rotation. And I thought, oh my gosh, was I making it worse by taking the ibuprofen? And this is what we found out today from Dr. Weil.
Well, it's not actually from Dr. Weil. It's from the from the Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine.
Right.
But anyway, on their COVID-19 facts, and I'm gonna give you all the link here. In chat, they mentioned that in the very early stages of discovering COVID-19, some folks in Switzerland published a letter in Lancet that said that I'm not going to try to get into the technical jargon because I can only understand it after I read it about a dozen times. But basically, what it amounts to is they found evidence that ibuprofen might be an aggravating factor. And that was picked up by both technical and news media and kind of blown out of proportion. And we don't know that ibuprofen is actually a danger if you have COVID-19. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and there's just nothing proven there. And my doctor, when I talked to her yesterday, I actually asked her about that, and she said there's no evidence. There was just the slimmest of concern, the very slimmest of concern, and it got blown out of proportion, and people started posting it.
It's kind of like spinach and iron.
Yeah.
For those of you who are old enough to remember watching all the Popeye cartoons, the reason that everyone thought spinach was so high in iron is because one initial study many years ago, decades ago, had a decimal point misplaced in the paper that was published.
Yep.
And spinach is not really that high in iron.
It's got a nice amount, but it's not.
It's got a lot of calcium.
Yeah. Yeah. Calcium's good for you. Vitamin C is good for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about things like elderberry syrup. It is great to support your immune system. It is true that it shortens the duration of the flu and a cold and helps with your cough. I mean, it's amazing to really help build and support your immune system if you aren't confirmed to have COVID-19. They have found, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to go back over here to my notes so that I can read it to everybody because this surprised me. There was just something niggling in the back of my mind. That's why I did the research as I was posting it for everybody. And I wanted to know if it was okay. If you don't suspect that you have it, if you haven't been confirmed, go ahead and use it. The better you build up your immune system, the better you can fight off the coronavirus if you happen to get it. Absolutely do that. But if you have been confirmed or you suspect that you have it, stop taking it. And the reason for that is that elderberry contains a compound which decreases the ability of viruses to infect the cells. But um, as part, it helps support the immune system, but elderberry increases the release of the cytokines that are called IL, and I won't get into all the technical, IL-IB, which is a part of the inflammatory reaction to COVID-19. As a result, you get this respiratory distress. So the cytokines that it increases causes more acute respiratory distress. So don't use the elderberry if you are confirmed or if you suspect. But yes, if you're building your immune system. The other biggie here that surprised me, that I really felt that this was important to get out, is vitamin D. If you are building your immune system and to stay healthy, yes, take vitamin D, D3. If you are confirmed or suspect that you have COVID-19, then stop taking it. Vitamin D can activate the specific inflammation pathways and inflammatory molecule, which is characterized by more inflammation. So it can actually increase the problem with the lungs. So those are two things that they have found to be true. And I'm giving you just the bottom line of it, everybody. I'm not going to go into all the science. As Ferris said, he's going to give you the link so you can read it yourself. And I'm like Ferris, I have to remember the science because I don't practice this every day. I forget some of it. And this is, I just felt like it was really important.
And it's bad enough that spinach doesn't have a lot of iron and it's going to make me strong like Popeye. But when vitamin D turns its back on me.
I know. So vitamin D is created in your body when you get out in the sun. And very important, as we all know. And vitamin D, or heat, actually kills off the virus. So if that's true, going out is it good to go outside or not good to go outside? Because it's increasing the vitamin D. That's a question that I have, and I have not seen anybody talk about that. Is it good to be outside if you have COVID-19 or not? No one's talking about that because it increases vitamin D, but heat kills it off. So do they counterbalance each other? What is that, Mary? You want to unmute yourself?
I had a conversation with someone in the medical world today that I have an appointment with tomorrow. And they asked me, the questions. They're switching over to the online health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Yeah.
So they were asking certain questions about the vitamins and stuff. And one of the things that they actually, now again, they say they don't know the answers either. But they said the most helpful thing that you can do right now is get out into the sunshine and allow the sun and step on the earth if you can. Allow the two things to balance you. Don't overdo it, but that really was an important thing to put your face in the sun. And that's what they told me before I can have my appointment tomorrow. So I'm not sure, but there's so much misinformation out there.
I don't think getting in the sun is going to create enough vitamin D to be an issue. They're talking about supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did say in terms, because they asked me about my supplements, what I'm taking, and according to what I've been doing with them for quite a while, vitamin D3 was one that's very big that I have been taking for a long time. So I asked them, what about the carryover effect? If, let's say, we get the virus or we are diagnosed somehow, we have all this vitamin D3 in our system. What does that mean? And basically they said that we don't know yet.
Oh.
It's in there, but It's already building up your immune system, so
You can't
But
do
it's
I
what?
think if it's already there and your immune system is built, I think you're fine. That's the
What
way
it
that I
sounded
understood
like.
this report. Yeah. It's just if you are just beginning to take it, they say just stop it if
Just
you
stop.
are confirmed. And during that time, quite honestly, I couldn't keep anything down.
Yeah.
Or actually, I didn't throw up. It went through me, and so anything that I tried to eat, I get a really bad stomach, and then so it just that's what happened to me. So I didn't even take any supplements at that time, and I hadn't made the elderberry wine. I keep saying wine. I've got to make some elderberry wine, Ferris. Don't even know how, but I'm going to learn, and I'll make a video. But I didn't make the elderberry syrup until the end of January. No, I put it out on Valentine's Day. So it was in February. So I was already well, and but I was still feeling puny. So I took it during the actual regular flu that's out, and I was fine. And it helped shorten the length of time that I suffered through that. So,
Great, thank you.
yeah.
Is that Prim? Yeah. Can you unmute yourself? There you go. Didn't you have something?
No,
Oh, I thought you were waving your hand earlier.
no, no.
Never mind.
Saying hello.
Great to see you.
Well, hi anyway.
Y'all,
Good to see everybody. I love this.
I do have a question.
Yes.
How low was your white blood cell count? Do you remember the number?
I have the report. Let me see. I think I have it up here. Oh, no, that's the wrong ones. They were comparing it to my ones last time. I can go downstairs in just a little bit and find out, but I know that it was 900 and something, where it should have been around 1500 and
No, normal white blood cell count is between 5 and 10,000.
or maybe that's what it was then.
Low
Maybe it was normally 10,000, and then it was down considerably,
Okay.
enough where they were alarmed.
Right. Below 5,000 is viral,
Yeah.
and above
Yeah,
1,000
and I don't remember. It's downstairs, and
big deal.
yeah, you know more about that than I do. So it was considerable, where they know that I've had a virus. They said you've had something pretty significant in your system, and they'll check for other things. They're going to do a blood smear to see, make sure, rule out other things. I don't think I have anything else.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
All done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew, do you have something?
Yeah, I know a couple of weeks ago when I was talking to my mom, because she's in Switzerland, Ticino, and she was saying on the news there, the doctors were telling the people that because the coronavirus is so unfamiliar, the way it works can change day to day on what they discover. And I think the best thing to do is trust your own intuition and your own body when it comes to what you take and what you hear from the doctors. Because last night I was on the call with Thea, which was so awesome. And I'm hoping Cindy will talk about it. But it's interesting how they said, listen to the doctors. But it's just, it's something that we don't like, because it's so brand new, that it's just, take things with a grain of salt and just trust what you feel is right for yourself, because only you know what your body needs. Take on board what the doctors are saying, but anyways.
And if you do muscle testing, do muscle testing. And as many of you know, I'm fasting right now, and my body just said 40 days and 40 nights, and I don't know why, but I'm doing it, and I feel so good. The pain is going away in my chest. Look at my eyes, the dark circles that have been there that, since the beginning of the year are going away. I feel amazing. and this is day 5. And so I'm going to keep doing, and then I'm going to add a light meal. When my body tells me to, I'll eat 1 meal a day, but continue like a 20-hour or 22-hour fast and just have 1 meal and then continue. I'm going to do it for 40 days and 40 nights because that's what my body told me to do. Your body might not say that, and my body was screaming it at me, and I ignored it. Easter's around the corner, candy, but my body's saying no. So I'm just drinking bone broth to support my system. I do have, I grow my own greens, as everybody knows, my own herbs. So I will make a smoothie out of those and drink a smoothie in the afternoon if I feel weak at all. But I've only had to do that actually one day. But I talked to my nurse practitioner that has helped me heal my body. And she said, if that's what your body's telling you to do, listen to your body. Your body knows, trust it. And she said, I'm here to support you. And she gave me a couple other supplements to take during this time. And she said, just trust your knowing. So, and Mary, my knowing also said, get your butt outside, connect with the earth. I've been gardening, and that helps so much too.
Well, if nothing else, being outside gives you a psychological lift.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to talk about trusting your body and being responsible for other people too. Because Andrew, you mentioned something either yesterday or the day before about not wearing a mask because you trust that you're going to be okay. The mask is not for you. The mask is for the other people that you're around.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you know that you're not sick, they don't know. And when I'm in the checkout lane, I want the cashier to know that I've got my face covered to protect them so that they'll feel better.
I saw this video, and it was wonderful, that said, I put my mask for you and you put your mask for me.
Yeah.
And then we're both protected. And then there's no fear. Talk about the psychological side. I believe that I did better in recovery because I did not know that I had COVID-19. And I think some people expect to die, and they do, just like when HIV came out. When AIDS came out, people were dying all over, left and right. But as soon as they found out that just because they have HIV and not full-blown AIDS does not mean they're going to die. They can live with it. And as soon as they found that out, then people started living. And, Roger Bannister, everybody said you couldn't run a 4-minute mile until Roger Bannister did it. And then everybody started doing it, So people don't know until they know. And you can survive this. And I think a positive state of mind is so important to this, because I was very positive. I didn't know what was going on. So I think that I was able to recover. And I did things like, even though I didn't feel good, I got up and did a video making bone broth and broadcast it and I told everybody, I know I look like crap, but I got to do this. I just knew I needed to do something to lift my spirits so that I could heal. And that's listening to your body too.
I have seen a couple of cases where people who were injured would have lived if they had not gone into shock.
Yeah.
And didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's get out in the sun.
Yep.
Separately.
Okay, let's see here. Nutritional yeast was a question. I take nutritional yeast. I take NAC, and they don't know. There's not enough research there. So if you have confirmed or suspect that you have COVID-19, they say no, because we just don't know enough. Let's see here. Mushrooms. That's another thing. I eat a lot of mushrooms. They say stop the polysaccharides, the extract from mushrooms. They said to stop it if it's confirmed or you suspect. So yes, it builds your immune system. Absolutely. If you have no sensitivity to mushrooms, just found out that I do in some cases with some mushrooms. Don't know why, but
I didn't even know mushrooms had polysaccharides. Mainly because I don't even know what a polysaccharide is.
Okay, I want to go ahead and go to questions.
I had a question for everybody, and it just.
Okay. Yes, positively raising the vibration of the planet. I so agree with that. There's so much discord out there. I've had to just switch off the news, and I'm actually writing a book. It's not really political, but it is about what's going on in the country, and I've had to put it away. I can't have it right now. I can't watch the news. I can't watch that negativity. And as Theo said, and what Andrew was referring to, they said, trust science, trust the experts. Don't watch the politicians because they have an agenda. Don't watch that. You know, watch the people who really know what's going on. That's who you pay attention to. So that's all I've been doing is just watching the experts and doing my own research and finding out what's really beneficial. What's the name of the drug, Ferris? I can never remember the name of it.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, the hydroxy.
Did I get that right, Satprim?
Yeah.
I saw your mouth going.
Yeah. You want to talk about it, Satprim?
There's so much conflict about it, and the last that I heard today was that it's got so many side effects.
Yeah,
a large population will react, a large percentage. So it's a malarial drug, but it's also prescribed for things like arthritic pain. It's
Lupus.
lupus.
Yes, and they really don't know. I don't know how it got such magnitude as far as being an approach for treatment.
Well, somebody that somebody owns stock in it.
Well,
They have
initially, some doctors in Singapore tried using it with an anti-malarial cocktail and said it showed promise. Kathy, I'm going to mute you because we're getting a lot of feedback from you there. That it showed promise, and a few politicians who were being hopeful latched onto that, and it got blown out of proportion, and now it's a shuttlecock in the badminton game of
right.
19.
But it can cause cardiac issues, arrhythmias.
Can it?
Yes.
And they also, another report I read this afternoon said that they're not even sure that the people that took it, I can't remember which country, I think this was England, that they were concurrently using it along with other approach.
Yeah.
They really don't even know if it's viable, you know.
And they say that the people that people are being prescribed it so much that the people that really do need it, that we know it works for them, can't even get it.
Wow.
Well, it hasn't quite got that bad yet, but it's getting close to it.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about New York City specifically, because there you can't. They've been requesting it
Wow.
And they did a trial. They've been doing trials there as well. They started with a trial of 20 people, and it was such mix. They said, we've got better results from other things. So that's what I read. That's the last thing I read. But it changes every day, because the truth is, you just don't know. Our best defense is to support your body as best you can right now. So if you get it, it won't be as bad. I really believe it's because that I am very conscious of my body, that I eat well, that I'm a runner, so I have good lung capacity. I think all of those things protected me. And so the more you can do, and you don't have to go out there and run, just walk, cardiovascular, any cardio, deep breathing, those are all things that I've done. So continue to do those, everybody.
And Bernadette, you got something? I got
Well,
you.
Okay, I was going to say, I had sent Cindy when I listened to a shaman, he had talked about cat's claw. And when I pulled up the cat's claw plant, it looked exactly like the coronavirus. So usually it's kind of like, walnut is good for your brain, a carrot is good for your eye. He was saying that the cat's claw was good for the coronavirus.
Is there any research to that, or?
Well, I had read the books by the medical medium, and when you read the part about the cat's claw, it talks about how it's good for viruses, both bacterial and just viral, that it's really good for that. But it's also a blood thinner, so you have to be careful. I mean, if you're healthy and you take it, no big deal. But if you're taking other things that could be a blood thinner, you have to check with your doctor. Yeah. But anybody healthy who takes it, according to the medical medium books, that would be the best thing than ever having to take a antibiotic. It just really boosts your immune system. And, I'm going to get the picture right here
I'd like to see it.
I had sent it to you.
When did you send it?
I think I sent it on Messenger.
Oh, okay. I might not have seen it then.
So,
did you just today, or?
It was like yesterday or the day before.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was really interesting because it was, let's see, Mike, you sent it to, I'm trying to pull it up here on, Mike.
Yes.
Where's your friend that we sent it to, Dale?
At the top.
I'm going to go over here to Facebook and see if I can.
I'm looking for it now.
Okay.
But it's very
I'm not looking in Facebook. I'm just.
I took a picture of.
Oh, you posted it on the page?
It's side by side.
Okay, look, here it is.
She's got it.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you can see this. Will you turn on that light?
Yeah.
You see how one is the COVID-19?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the other one is the cat's claw plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken that to thin my blood before.
Well, it's good for all kinds of things. If you have the book by the medical medium on healing foods, he goes on and on about it. If I wasn't on my phone, I could read you the actual, because I have his book on. But that's one of the things. Michael works for the airlines. He's a flight attendant. And he has been flying to Seattle. And that's one of the most infected places. And he's had exposures, but he has not gotten sick.
They tested positive at passing.
Because, first of all, he's taking, my mother was an herbalist. So when we were sick as children, we always had to take an herb tea. You knew how sick you were by the taste of the tea. If it was terrible, you were going to die. You had to take it. Live. That's just the way it was. So, I grew up with all these herbs, and so I know how they work.
Yeah.
So I've had Michael take an immunity boosting herbs. He'll, take his turmeric, his ginger, just, ashwagandha, different things that he needs to boost his immune. And like I said, I added the cat's claw probably about 3 months ago. And he's been taking it faithfully, and he has not gotten sick no matter how many times he has been exposed to this thing.
Wow.
And he has been nice and healthy. So that's something, you know, if it's something you want to look into, do your own research. It's interesting how, you know, in creation, there is always a cure to whatever ails us. If
Yeah.
it's out there, there is a cure. And this shaman that I was listening to actually on Facebook, I just happened to pop on there. He was from the Andes, and he says the cure is in the rainforest. And then he mentioned cat's claw, and I was like, well, we're already taking that. So I went in and I Googled it, and that's when I saw the picture that looked exactly like the coronavirus, and it just blew my mind.
Oh.
So, you know, very interesting. It's on your Facebook if you want to post it, you know, that's just
Okay.
information.
All
But
right. I didn't see it in Messenger, but I'll look and see.
Send it again because I can send it from my phone.
Okay, great. Are you posting it to the one in our public page?
I'm not sure. I had just sent it to you, I think, as to you personally as a messenger.
Okay. I'll go back and scroll
private
through it. I
message.
didn't.
But I just thought, you know, that was something that was very interesting.
It is, and I'd like to do some more research because I have grown cat's claw. I'm also an herbalist and learning. I'm still learning.
Well, so am I, but I love to research. I love to research everything. And
I do too.
Pretty healthy, so you know, I buy organic. I cook from scratch. So
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, so it sounds like we're a lot alike.
Yep.
I have a question for you, Bernadette or Cindy, about the. So what do? Do you put it in a tea to like?
Well, there's different ways. You can do the tea, but we just do the tablets. I just buy them on Amazon. The ones that I bought are out of stock now, but I went up to the natural food store and I just asked for cat's claw, and they showed me where it was, and I bought a bottle.
Okay.
And I just supplement it. So
I always made a tea out of it or infused water.
Right.
Today,
so there's all kinds of, this is just the bottle that we got at our.
I've actually taken that before too.
Yeah, we just found it at our natural food store. But it's, all of us sharing the knowledge that we have is, just for people like us who like more natural products, and we don't like to be, taking all these chemicals into our body. Our body, if we just take good care of it, we eat right, we exercise, we think, and, focus on more positive than negative, our immune system and our vibration is going to be so high, you don't have to worry about the fear attached to that virus. It's almost like, it won't touch you. You stay safe, of course, don't get out in public, wash your hands, the usual, but your body is strong. It knows how to heal.
Yeah, we still don't want to take any chances.
Right.
Out there.
But,
and the people, if everyone is out there, not wearing a mask, and it's going to get
well,
spread.
I think everybody needs to be safe. We've gone to the grocery store when we had to go. I love to cook, so I'll make a meal and I'll take it over to a couple of my neighbors that are elderly, and I'll either put it outside their door or walk in and put it on their counter and say,
oh, that's so sweet.
I made a lemon pound cake from scratch yesterday, so I took that to about 5 different neighbors. Everybody got a little taste, and I made all kinds of soups and whatever it is, I just take it and leave it. And it's like we've had so much community around us just because I love to share what I make, and everybody loves eating it, so we're all good.
I wish you were my neighbor.
Yes, would that be nice?
You're making lemon pound cake. Mary's making bread pudding.
Oh yeah. We're in Florida right now because Mike flies out of Orlando for Delta, but we have a house in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, so we're not very far from you. So one of these days,
we gotta get together.
Yeah,
we can get together. That would be awesome.
Sabia, am I saying, or Rabia? Let me see. She says, I see that WebMD, Sunny Medical, or is it's supposed to be Sinai Medical? Is that how you say that? and a few other mainstream sources seem to mention it as well. Sounds like. Okay. Devana says that the doctors couldn't get the malaria drug before the knowledge of the COVID. I don't know. I don't know if that's right or not. My my nurse practitioner actually has lupus, so she takes this drug. And
Well, that's not
and
the malaria drug.
Pardon?
That's not the malaria drug.
Oh, is it the other one? I thought that worked for malaria and for.
No, they were using that in conjunction with the malaria drug.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Okay. I don't know about the malaria.
And I don't know what the malaria drug, I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
that they
I
were
don't.
using.
My sister has rheumatoid arthritis, was initially prescribed, but had terrible side effects. That's what everybody's saying. Even Danny says that she has to really limit what she does, and she's built her body now and takes something else for the lupus. I have the information somewhere that she takes low dose naproxen. That's what she started taking, and
Really?
yeah. And that helps her so much that she doesn't have to take all of this. She's healing her own body.
Yeah, well, Devonna, I don't know about staying away from sugar. I've been staying away from sugar, and I think it's killing me.
I've been staying away from sugar because I just don't know what feeds this.
Yes, but
So,
see, you don't live for sugar.
that's
I
true.
do.
I don't mind some healthy ones, but regular sugar, no, I'm not much.
Tough.
Remax 3 I mentioned above is not mine. It's one which has cat's claw. So
Oh, she was talking about a supplement
well,
that has cat's claw in it.
okay, all right. And the medical medium, I actually have that book. I haven't finished it yet because I'm taking classes to get to my next level of herbalism. So I've got a whole lot to learn, and I had been so focused on that until I got sick in January. Then I literally have not even been able to go back and finish the classes since then.
And Tony wants to know, what are the healthy sugars?
Well, honey to me is a beautiful sugar for the body, and I use honey internally and externally. I actually use it on my skin for infection. It's what I slapped on my hands or my arms when my cat attacked me today when I tried to brush her out, and she bit me. So right away I put honey on it because it draws out infection. So to me that's a great one, and helps if you get local honey. It helps with allergies. I used to have to take shots years ago, which did nothing, and went to an allergist, had very little success, and then I started taking bee pollen, and within 3 months I stopped having problems with allergies. And local honey, local bee pollen. I'm taking the bee pollen right now, but I'm not doing any sugars. And then maple syrup, just there's a lot of wonderful sugars out there. Stevia, I grow my own stevia plants, as you know, Ferris. And I just put the actual leaves right in my smoothies. So, and it sweetens it, just gives a little bit of sweetness to it. It's wonderful.
Cindy?
Yeah.
You can also do, if anybody who's diabetic or just wants another sugar substitute, monk fruit comes from a melon. It's very good. And the xylitol. And that xylitol is actually good for tooth decay. I was a dental assistant, so, there's something. So either of those two, you can cook with them. You can use them just the way you regularly do.
Xylitol.
And that's what I do. And it's really good.
Yeah, we just got them because Gary doesn't always like the stevia. My husband's diabetic, and so we just got the monk sugar.
Oh, yeah?
Monk
for him
fruit.
to do. Yeah,
It's
And
very good.
he
And
loved
it
it.
looks just like sugar. It tastes, it's the most comparable to sugar without being sugar. And it doesn't raise your blood sugar at all. Because it comes from melon, it's natural fruit. Your body knows how to use that.
And it doesn't taste like
And then,
crappy
like I said,
cheese.
and the xylitol comes from the birch tree.
Yeah.
So they're both very good for you. If you need sugar. I like sugar, so I'm going to have a little bit.
Yeah, and I like sugar as long as it's not just regular processed sugar. My body reacts to that. I can always tell when I've gotten into something that I shouldn't have. As many of you know that have been around for a long time, I've had 22 or 23 broken bones, and my hands have been and wrists have been broken multiple times. And so I have, where I broke it here, will swell up like crazy. Both of these have been broken. And I fell at the Country Music Marathon a couple years ago, and this one has just ended up being my tell. So if I have sugar, this blows up and then I can't use my hands. So I've had some arthritis trying to form, and I just won't do it. I don't want to be crippled. So, and this hand was completely shattered. So I am really cautious about sugars. So thank you, Bernadette, for sharing that.
Cindy, Rabia wanted to know about the best elderberry, and I don't know if you were on when we first started, Rabia, but Cindy was talking about her elderberry syrup that she made. I don't know about, are there elderberry supplements that are good?
There are. I always like to go right to the food source whenever I can. I buy black elderberry from Mountain Rose Herbs, and that's where I get all mine, and I get them dried. And I don't typically get berries that often because they end up getting moldy so fast. So a lot of times if I do get them, I actually just put them in the freezer right away. I get them and wash them and put them in the freezer because I don't use them fast enough or eat them fast enough.
You know any gummies that are good?
Most of the gummies I've found have too much sugar in it. And
Yeah.
I don't, it just seems like that defeats the purpose. And besides that, if they're around, my favorite food, Ferris.
Yeah.
Or if I'm going to have a sweet, I like those jujus.
Yeah.
I love jelly beans. I don't like chocolate, not much of a chocolate eater, but I always loved jelly beans and jujus. And so they're gummies. And if I have a gummy around, I'm going to eat them. So I just won't even bother.
Yeah. The problem with gummy supplements is, once you eat the whole bottle the first day, the whole jar the first day, they're not going to do you much good the rest of the week.
Yeah. Does anybody have any suggestions?
You can get the black elderberry, the tablets, the organic ones.
Yeah, the black elderberry is what I always get. So you can get the tablets. And what brand is that? Because again, I don't take the tablet.
Let me just put it up here, see if you guys can see it.
Okay,
without my glasses, I can't read all those.
Can you back it up just a little away from the camera? There you go.
Can you see it better?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just took a screenshot.
Okay.
So we can get information. We can put that up.
Yeah, anything that if you just, I just go to Amazon, I Google everything for organic, whatever it is, and there's usually something there.
Yep, I do a lot. I start there and then I go out and find research on the best brands.
We have a few really good herbal stores. So if one doesn't have it, you go to the other one, they'll usually have it.
Yeah.
So.
That's great. Okay, anybody else? Satpram, did you have? Okay, I didn't know if anybody else had. Oops, a hand there. Okay. Anyone else, just raise your hand or let us know. Any questions that you have? Has this been helpful?
Cindy?
Yeah.
Cindy Weber said, so I guess Christopher Elbow isolation chocolates are out.
They're great. They're a designer chocolate that they make in Kansas City, and she's actually given them to me as a gift a couple of times. She sent them, and oh my gosh, they are so good. That's some chocolate I can eat. And they're, oh my gosh, it's great. I don't know why regular chocolate I don't like, but yeah, I love those. And it was really, really, Cindy, I have to tell you, it was really hard to share. Usually I'm good at sharing. I wasn't very good at sharing, but I did. Okay.
All right, guys, it's time to say goodnight.
Yes, it is. Well, I thank you all. And then I don't know what we're doing tomorrow night. Lorelei's checking her schedule to see if she can be here at 3 Eastern time tomorrow. She's, they actually have a service tonight. So for Unity, they're having an online service and she's attending that, so she can be here tonight. She's going to see about her schedule tomorrow. And then Friday night, we are going to have a pajama party. We're doing this at 7 o'clock. Everybody wear their jammies, and I know people are, you know, coming in from around the world. You can wear your jammies all day because, I mean, we're in isolation. Why not? Why not be comfy? So wear your jammies, and we're going to talk about self-comforting. What do you do? Bring your ideas on how to comfort yourself. We've been talking tonight about how that is so important right now, how to stay away from the negativity and the, you know, all of that that's in the media right now. I have to completely stay away from it. And there are other things that I'm doing to comfort myself. What are you doing? I really want to hear some ideas. So let's share that Friday night. And then tomorrow we'll make up something by then. If we don't, if Lorelei's unable to make it, we'll come up with something, but we'll meet no matter what. So I'll see you.
Before we go,
Yeah.
Penny came in late. She had difficulties. What we were talking about, Penny, is if you have the COVID virus or you suspect you have it, is not to take elderberry or vitamin D. And if you follow that link that I put in chat up there earlier, that's the Andrew Weil Center. What's the name of it? The Andrew Weil Center for Integrative Medicine. Their FAQ page will explain all that. And I'm going to unmute everybody, and time to say good night, Gracie.
Good night, everybody. I love you all. So good to see you.
Good night.
Just
I love you
stuff.
guys.
Everybody.
I love you.
Oh, I blow